First off, a little bit about who GroovyTek is. GroovyTek is dedicated to helping folks become more comfortable and confident with their technology and devices independently and on their own terms. GroovyTek trainers provide one-on-one technology sessions anchored in respect, patience, and both in-home and over the phone. All right, so first we're going to be going over Ancestry. Officially, it launched its website back in 1996, and Ancestry.com has become one of the leading forces in genealogy. Ancestry.com, it makes it easier to find and catalog your family history. They have access to billions of historical records, millions of family trees, and samples from millions of people in the Ancestry DNA network. Now we're going to go over some tips and tricks. If you ever used Ancestry before, you'll know it's not the most friendly, but once you kind of get used to it and use it more and more often, it'll become kind of a fun project to work on. So when you start using Ancestry, when you start using Ancestry, explore what you can find for free before you upgrade to their premium version. For example, this is what I've been able to build so far of my family tree on the free version of Ancestry.com. And there's a lot of information up for grabs, and that is completely free. Like if anybody of your family has done Ancestry before, you'll be able to find their trees and grab information from them and help that to build your tree there. Another thing that you'll always want to look for is these green little leaves on your family tree. That means you have a hint or like a historical record that Ancestry has found under that same name or whatever you've built of that person. They could be public records, newspaper clippings, and you'll really be surprised how many viable sources can be found just based on their name and birthday. Another great tip is to explore other people's family trees. These can help you with your research and just an interesting side path you could follow for a bit. If you happen to find someone that you are related to or part of your family tree, you can take that information and add it to your own. So like I was saying, if you have a family member that has done Ancestry before and you ask them for their tree, you can use their information to help build yours and make yours even bigger. And then so Ancestry also lets you find mentions in newspaper articles or news pieces. This is part of their paid service, but if you're doing a deep dive into your family history, it's worth it, especially if you have some family with notable newspaper clippings or news mentions. And that being said, if you do have boxes and boxes of photos or newspaper clippings piling up in your house and you're not really sure what to do with them, but you want to save them for your family to come, a great way to do that is if you have a scanner and you have some time on your hands, you can go through and scan all of those photos or files. This could be a really beneficial and fun process. It will keep your photos secure, and it will also make them easier to access for your children and even you as well. And a side note, when you have all those files digitized, you can also use that information to help build your tree on Ancestry.com. So if you have a bunch of photos of grandparents or something like that, or parents, you can add that to Ancestry, and then they can use that to even further build your tree. And when it comes to scanning photos, most flatbed scanners are able to fit multiple photos at once. While it may save time in the front end, we recommend that you scan one photo at a time, so that way you don't have to go through and separate each photo once you're done scanning. And if you're scanning with a program like HP Smart, so if you have one of those HP printers that also has a scanner on top, you probably are familiar with the program HP Smart. this could go a long way to help you organize and save those files effectively. They have a process where you can save and rename the file before it's even on your computer, so you don't have to go through after you scanned everything and rename and organize it. And like I was saying, you don't have to restrict your photos yourself to just photos either. You could scan in newspaper clippings or files, really whatever you want to scan. As long as you have a flatbed scanner, you could pretty much scan it into your computer to make it more digital and easier to access.